Hi everyone, this is Mark Siegel, and in this second video I'm going to show you how to play with the structure of your website. So instead of just adding content, we're actually going to play around with where things go. So you notice I've added a couple of pages along the left-hand side. So you'll notice the pages automatically alphabetize themselves. So sometimes you want it alphabetized, sometimes you don't care. So I'm going to show you how to change the structure of that to make it look a little bit different. So I told you that one of the most important buttons is this gear button in the upper right-hand corner. So we're going to click that gear. I want to go down to Manage Site. So when you first click on that gear and you hit Manage Site, what it does is it pops up on this General button. So you can actually enter categories. So I can say this is a Google, I can say Sites, Gmail, Calendar, etc. I can give it Instruction, PD, or Professional Development. So I can give it different categories, and what that allows us to do is actually collect them by topic. So if you're doing a history one, you might want to put social studies or history, and then this way, as soon as we get enough of them, the students can actually search for history, and all the history websites in the district will pop up. So most of this stuff you're not going to play around with. If you are pretty savvy, feel free to go through and look through this, but I'm going to show you something else. I want to show you this Pages button on the left-hand side. Oops, I'm sorry, I forgot to hit save. Didn't follow my own rules. Okay, so as soon as you make a change, always remember to click save. So I'm going to click on this Pages button on the left-hand side, and this shows you the structure of your site. So if you have pages embedded under other pages, it shows you the tree structure. So for example, I have this grading policy page, but I don't want the grading policy to have its own direct page. I want it to be underneath the home page. So what I'm actually going to do is take it and I'm going to drag it down so that it's inside of home. And it's currently moving it, and now it's inside of home. Now what that allows me to do is create a system. So I can have one main page and then a whole bunch of pages filter out from that depending on how I do that. I'm going to show you what that looks like back on the main site. So after I do that, luckily that saves immediately. I'm going to click on this Siegel's Google page and click back to my main site. Now you'll notice that on the left-hand side it says Home, and now it's got an arrow. So I've got a drop down, and my grading policy appears underneath that. So I've changed this structure a little bit on the left-hand side. Now I'm not a huge fan of the left sidebar. So even though it's, because one of the problems is the left sidebar scrolls. So if your sidebar is big enough, if your web page is long enough, your sidebar, your navigation disappears. So I love the top. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the gear, and I'm going to scroll down to Edit Site Layout. So what I can actually do is now I can change a number of things. First of all, I can add and change my sidebar directly. I can display on the left, on the right, I can change its size, etc. I can add other links to it if I want to do that, but what I like to do is I like to add the bar along the top. So I'm actually going to take out my sidebar by clicking on it. You'll see it will disappear. And now I'm going to click the horizontal navigation. So that's going to add me the top bar. And that is what I'm looking for. So you'll see that here, if I unclick it, you'll see it again. Okay, you'll notice that now I've got this bar that's going to appear along the top, and I want to change that because that's going to give me tabs for all my different pages. So I'm going to click that. When I click it, it says, okay, I've got the home, but I want to add more pages. So I click Add Page. Which page? Gmail. Okay. I want to add another page, and I'm going to just go through and add all my pages. So now I've got my pages, and I want them as tabs along the top. So I'm going to click OK, and the tabs button you'll notice is on the bottom here. So now you'll see that I have tabs that will appear along my site. So I want to see what this is going to look like. So I am going to click Close, and I can see that this is what my page is going to look like. So now I've got all these now I've got all these little tabs that go along the top. So my students can easily click Google Docs, and they can see it nice and neat along the top. It's just something that I happen to like the way I set it up. It kind of cleans up the web page and gives you more room to work with because now you don't have that sidebar anymore. So if I were to edit the page layout back under the edit button, and I say, okay, well, I want a left sidebar. Look how much space I now have to work with in this main page right here. So this is an easy way for managing your site, getting it set up, and changing the way it looks a little bit to make it work better for whatever class you're teaching.